This is Ryan Watches a Movie, where we get our friend Ryan to watch a movie and tell us what he thought.
Going balls out in the lumberyard, watching the grunion crawl magi. If you're listening to this, don't even waste your time.
Hello, and welcome to Ryan Watches a Movie. This is episode number 112. My name is Adam. With me today, we're joined by Kevin. How you doing, Kevin?
Doing all right.
We're also joined by Ryan. How you doing?
Eh.
All right. What movie do we have you watch this week?
Run.
Picked this in honor of Brick Mansions coming out. This is written and directed by Simone Bartasaghi, and Synopsis says, Run is a fast-paced action thriller which centers on a street-smart 17-year-old named Daniel who practices parkour and is both hero and thief. We do have a trailer here, so let's give this a listen. This is Run.
Fight with thieves doesn't bother me at all.
Found our new hit. Don't be late.
Stop!
You got school tomorrow.
Remember, new town, same rules.
Yo, this is a newbie.
It's nice to meet you.
Me too. Who's that?
That was my sister.
Be careful.
We do parkour.
Where you at? Self-expression. Like taking this whole place, turning it into a canvas, and you're the brush.
Where's the kid?
They're still looking for us.
All right, you get the idea. Ryan, why don't you tell us about Run?
Well, first of all, I gotta say, that music can Key and Peele sketch with about the
dubstep?
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That music reminds me a lot of that, and it makes me laugh every time. Because I just think of his nose bleeding. But yeah, this movie basically it's a 17-year-old. He lives with his dad, and they move from city to city, trying to stay anonymous because they rob from like little I can't even think of what they're called.
Jewelry stores?
Yeah. Pawn shops. And they move from city to city, and they finally fall upon the idea of what better place to go than New York City, the most busiest place in the world to stay anonymous. So they go there, and you find out that the kid, his mom was shot before he was born, and while she was giving birth to him, she died. And her brother is a crime boss, or some kind of mob boss. And they have a little run-in when they moved to New York City. And this kid goes to a school and gives everyone a fake name. It says that they're all into parkour, and he says that he can't do it at all. And there's a fire, and someone has to be saved. And the kid's like a fucking expert out of nowhere. And he falls in love with a girl. And the mob boss, while trying to kidnap this guy and this kid, also kidnapped this kid's new girlfriend. And they're like talking about this. I'm gonna try not to confuse everyone, but this crime boss, his lieutenant, we'll call him, he was in love with this guy's sister, and he actually also killed her. And he thinks that this other guy's dad killed her. So he wants to get back at her. And they take this guy, kidnap him, chain him up, beat him, and the kid and all the kids and kids and kill everyone and the movie's over.
This is like watching the fucking movie, right? Glorious.
So they
It's
kill.
probably
You
better
said they
than
kill
what-
everyone.
Pretty much, yeah.
How do they kill them?
They
Using
kill
parkour?
everyone that the lieutenant guy doesn't kill.
Do they kill
Because,
them with parkour?
Hardcore parkour?
well, two guys they jump at and kind of suplex them, I guess knock them out. And the lieutenant guy turns against everyone and he starts shooting people. And he kills like 3 people. And then the main guy at the end is shoved down an elevator shaft.
So the short answer is no.
Yes.
Oh god. So I guess the big question is, how was the nonstop free running action?
It was cool except for the fact that it sucked. It was neat to watch for like maybe 2 minutes, but it's like all over this movie. It's nonstop. And it just gets like they run and jump and shit for absolutely no reason. Like when they're walking down the street.
Yeah, well that's kind of the silly thing about free running, is some of the stuff they do just seems completely unnecessary. Like when they jump and do little twisties off of like really low things, like fire hydrants and stuff.
Yeah.
It just looks
It
silly.
it felt like they were saying, "Hey, you should try parkour." Like they were trying to sell it to me, but what they don't know is I can't walk anyway, so I'm not really in the market to buy any parkour skills.
I thought you were like way into parkour.
It's neat to watch.
I remember the first time I ever saw parkour. I don't even know if it was called parkour at the time, but remember we made fun of it. We saw it on MTV Sports, and this was like a long time ago when you lived across the street from me, and we made fun of it. And I was doing it out in your driveway. You remember that?
I do. I also remember the terrible show that was on G4.
Well, it was like a game show.
Yeah.
But see, the funny thing about that game show and the reason it didn't work is because when you see it in real life, you're like, that looks ridiculous. It looks silly.
It looks almost to the point where it's like scripted and fake. Like,
And that show on G4 was terrible.
So what? The show on G4 was like a parkour game show?
Yeah, it was like a competition show where there would be teams and they would have these like obstacle courses set up, and they would have to decide how they're going to do a run through, and there'd be judges, and it was so dumb.
It was ridiculous. I'd be curious to know how long that show actually lasted.
I can't imagine more than one season. I remember watching like 2 of them, and I was like, this is so stupid.
Yeah.
Jump
So-
City. Is it called Jump City?
That sounds right.
Jump City.
I mean, they take away the thing that about parkour that's cool, in that these people do these stunts and things on real world objects, throughout a city.
Yeah. Like,
They use what's there as part of their run or whatever.
yeah.
So when you have it set up in like a controlled environment where there's like specific things placed in a specific way, it takes away any kind of like artistry.
Yeah. Plus, in this, they say a few times, look where you're going and know blah, blah, know where your feet are, know where your hands are. But part of it to me is like I don't know, like the like they're just random things that you make up off your top of your head.
Yeah, but that's not how it is in real life, though. Like in real life, all these, I don't know if they're professional. I guess some of them are professional. They'd like go to an area and then they map it out and they figure out what they're gonna do. And I don't think they just, do it off the top of their head spontaneously.
I feel as though we're spending too much time analyzing parkour. Parkour.
Well,
It's
Parkour.
what are your thoughts on parkour, Kevin?
It's unnecessary. Wait, it doesn't make any sense. I just don't get it. You just run or walk places. It's really simple. It's been working for I don't know how long. There's no risk
decades.
of
Literally decades.
no risk of injury. You get places. It's really easy.
It's so far break your ankle after walking. But guess what, Kevin? I can't break my ankle when I'm walking.
No, you can
No.
probably fall out of your wheelchair and break your ankle.
Well, that doesn't count.
How was the so we didn't talk about the cast at all, but Eric Roberts is in this. I'm assuming he's the bad guy.
Yeah.
Jeremiah. How was he?
He was alright, I guess. He was, it felt like he was like the big name in a shitty movie, trying to make it more attractive.
That's what he's been doing for like the last 15
Yeah.
years.
Yeah, he's in a lot of bad movies. And also the dad is played by Adrian Pazdar. He's been in a bunch of stuff. I just saw him in what is he in? Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I just saw him in that. But he was in Heroes. That's probably where most people would know him.
Alright. He's really exciting.
Well, let's go ahead and talk about the director, Simone Bartasaghi. This is only his second feature-length film. He did another one called World's End that came out in 2010. Never heard of it. Doesn't look very good.
Not at all.
Post-apocalyptic world.
Ooh.
What's
probably good.
parkour?
I guess originally it was called Downstream.
Is there parkour in the post-apocalyptic world?
Doesn't
Nothing
look
but-
like it.
Nothing but
Damn.
parkour.
Doesn't look like it. Although Mickey Jones, the guy from Home Improvement, is in it.
Really?
That guy was in Home Improvement. He's in Sons of Anarchy too. Or no, not Sons of Anarchy. He's in Justified. That's pretty much it as far as the director goes. He did some short films. Not a lot to talk about with that.
Not a lot to talk about at all.
Were there any other highlights or?
No,
anything?
this movie sucked.
I mean, it looked like it
Everything
was.
was terrible. Everything felt like it was forced, or it felt like a big advertisement. It was just stupid all around.
I don't know if it would be an advertisement, more like cashing in on a trend. Because, like, I don't think there's anything to advertise with parkour, is there?
I don't know. It does seem kind of. I don't know. It feels like they are trying to sell it, or at least they were back then. I guess with Brick Mansions, they're trying to bring that back, even though Brick Mansions feels like a movie that is like 10 years past its time.
Well, yeah, we'll talk about that in a second.
But I don't know if they're like trying to audition themselves as like, put us in your action movie. Look at what we can do. Spin off of a low sitting bench. Running down the street and jump up on the wall real quick.
Jump on the wall real quick.
Back on the street. Oh God. Free running.
It's kind of like what Tony Jaa did. You know, like I feel like a lot of his popularity came from the stunt work that he would do while running.
Yeah, but as terrible as most of those movies are, they're way more exciting because it looks so much cooler.
Yeah, like I watched
you
the
actually
trailer.
you put it into something
Yeah, you gotta put some context into it.
instead of just someone quickly going down a flight of stairs.
They do that. They always do that thing where they jump real far and then roll at the end.
Yeah, like how many times
You'll
can you
jump
see
and roll.
that? How many times do you see that and you're like, by like the second time you see it, you're not as impressed as you were the first time. You're just like,
Now,
oh, okay, yeah, you jump and roll, cool.
Did Eric Roberts free run?
Oh my God, please say yes.
No.
Damn it.
No, I did not. It would've
Where
made
did it look like all the actors in the movie were actually doing the free running, or were they stunt doubles?
And it looked like they were actually doing it.
Hmm.
I think that's part of the shitty acting.
Okay.
They're just parkour people that were picked because they do parkour.
Right. All right. Well, let's go ahead and give you a drum roll. What do you give Run?
2.
2 out of 10 on Run. Not too good, man. Not too good. It seemed like
I thought
kind of like it was like Fast and the Furious. That's what it seemed like.
But with feet.
With feet. Did they use NOS? Did they use NOS on their feet to give them a boost?
They should.
They drink the NOS energy drink to give them a boost.
They should.
Oh God.
So let's talk about Brick Mansions. You excited for that?
I am.
You are?
What? You are?
Except for the fact it's rated PG-13.
You know, it's
so
a-
many people getting fucked up. And then
Well,
at
they
the
can
end,
they
it's
can show
like,
people getting fucked up. They just can't show blood. 'Cause,
At
you know,
the
that
end,
makes
they're
sense.
like, "Oh, but this is rated PG-13. Fuck off, yeah,
So you're excited for it? You think it looks
yeah."
good?
I
You know
think
it's
it
a-
looks pretty cool.
Well, you know it's a remake of District B13, right?
That makes me even more excited.
Did you Kevin? You saw at least part of that.
I did see parts of that.
I liked it. I mean, I don't know if I would like it as much now if I went back and watched it, but I remember being impressed with the stunt work. And the same dude, I can't remember his name, the French guy,
David Bell?
David Bell, is in Brick Mansions, and he was in District B13. He's playing a different character, but
He's the founder of
see it.
parkour.
yeah, he
I want to
is.
see Paul Walker parkour.
He might.
Wonder if
It looks like he's going to.
He's gonna do a little bit.
wonder if it was a stunt or if it was actually him.
I read that he would do most of his own stunts, so it's probably mostly him. I'm sure for any of the big crazy stuff, you know, like jumping out of windows and that kind of stuff, it's probably a stunt double, but
Yeah.
I'd be willing to bet that it's mostly him. Yeah, so I guess Fast and the Furious, I guess, will be his last role, but this is his second to last.
Second to last.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have very high hopes for it. I like to see RZA in movies. He plays the bad guy, so
No, so
Oh my.
that also excites me.
What, RZA? RZA in the bad guy role?
Yes.
I mean, normally I'd say I was excited, but I did see The Man with the Iron Fist, so
I've
that
also
has me less
seen
excited.
I've also seen RZA in any other movie ever.
What about Coffee and Cigarettes?
See that?
good
No,
in
that
that.
was good. That was good. I'll give him that. He nailed it on that one. Everything else has been shit.
Yeah, I pretty much agree with you there. Unfortunately, you should probably just stick with the music. All right. Well, any final thoughts on Run or Brick Mansions, Ryan?
That way.
Stay away from Run. Go see Brick Mansions.
Yes.
Ryan, if you could walk, would you parkour?
Probably. Just so
Parkour
I could
everywhere.
be important. I would do it everywhere I went. I would go out and get my mail and jump across my lawn to get my
Parkour. You'd parkour from Southampton to Waterford all the way to Queensgate Shopping Center.
goddamn right.
I just have all these images of Ryan parkouring. Oh my god.
Oh, it's amazing.
Oh, what could have been?
What could have been?
The better thing is what is not.
All right. Well, I think that'll wrap it up. For all the latest film news and reviews, visit us at filmpulse.net. Send us your questions with podcast to filmpulse.net, and we'll be sure to answer them on the show. Follow us on Twitter at FilmPulseNet and be sure to rate us on iTunes. We appreciate that very much. For FilmPulse.net, my name's Adam.
Okay.
And we'll see you on Monday.
See you later. God.
What the hell was that?
God damn it. Hold on.